We welcome you in live to Elmira, New York for Pioneers baseball as after the Pios took down the Muckdogs just about an hour ago in Game 1 of this twin bill doubleheader, your Pios on a Friday evening get set to host once again the Batavia Muckdogs. Good evening, everybody, for the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. I'm Farrell Hudson. The Pios have taken the field behind their starting pitcher, Brendan Hayes, on this warm Friday evening, and we're glad that you could spend a part of it with us. Coming out to relieve Carl Wagner for a brief moment to catch the first pitch of the ball game. Some festivities on this fireworks evening here from Dunn Field. A day that was sunny. It's given way to a couple clouds. No rain in the forecast, though, and a capacity crowd on hand. A picnic down the left field line. A little bit of everything, as you always get here at Dunn Field. First pitch is thrown out, and we should be ready for tonight's ball game. Hayes is going to take his warm-up tosses, and we'll get to the Batavia Muckdogs starting lineup. Braden Horton, the right fielder, will lead things off. Brian Fry in center field will bat second. Jackson Inman, the extra hitter in Game 2, he'll bat third. Justin Espinal is at third base. He'll bat fourth. At fifth, in batting fifth and playing second base is Caleb Walker, the second baseman. Tyler Castrodero, the shortstop, will bat sixth. Braden Reyna in left field, he'll bat seventh. James Bolton, the designated hitter from SUNY Cortland, he'll bat eighth. Blake Ewing at first base will bat ninth. And rounding out the batting order, batting 10th tonight out of Keystone College is Cooper Fesh. One appearance on the season for Brendan Hayes, and it came in relief against the Batavia Muckdogs. Hayes sitting 88 to 92 miles an hour regularly out of Barry University, one of three Pioneers players to come out of Barry, along with teammate Bobby Boying and fellow right-handed starting pitcher, and Benjamin Rohde, who has taken his place in left field tonight. Let's check out the Pioneers defense behind Brendan Hayes. It'll be Ben Rohde in left field, Dylan Fatovich in center, and Cooper Smith moves from first base to right field for game number 2. Left to right in the infield, John Simmons, the third baseman, Liam O'Neill, the shortstop, Ty Martineau at second base, and Michael Palmer is at first. Carl Wagner is behind the plate. He'll catch Brendan Hayes. Hayes finishing the last of his warm-up tosses, and Wagner getting set to throw down. The Pioneers have done well in the catching position. They have nabbed 8 base runners so far through the opening 5 full ball games of the season, but the errors continuing to be a point of emphasis upon improvement. But the Pios in good spirits right now. They've won 2 consecutive home games in the PGCBL Western Division, are 2-3, enter tonight's Game 2 6th place in the PGCBL West. A chance to climb back, though. Batavia now with a 5-4 record. Both the Pios and the Muckdogs can be tied at a 500 even record. Batavia has played 4 more games than the Pioneers have. Brendan Hayes is ready, and the left-handed hitting Braden Horton is ready, and we're underway here in Elmira on a 72-degree Friday evening. First pitch is a called strike. Inner half fastball from Hayes, 0-1. Horton out of the University of Oklahoma. Appeared in game number 1, went 1 for 3, and he gets clipped inside on the right knee by Hayes. So the second pitch of the ball game gives way to a base runner for Batavia. So Horton gets plunked, and a runner on first with nobody out for the center fielder and Brian Fry. Fry digging in from the left side of the plate. Also appearing in game 1. Fry went 0 for 2, grounded out to short and flew out to left field. He'll bat from the left side with nobody out, just underway. Here in game number 2. Throw back to first from Brendan Hayes, picked out of the dirt nicely by Michael Palmer. Palmer, no stranger to playing first base, has so far in his time this season with the Pioneers, also in his time locally from Elmira High School. First pitch, it's a fastball, strays high. Hayes working into the left-handed hitting Brian Fry. The count is 1-0. Fry, originally a product of the University of Toledo, but came back to his hometown roots now, wrapping up his career with the SUNY Brockport Golden Eagles. He fouls one back to the screen here, a ball and a strike. Fry previously played for the Muckdogs during the 2022 season. Already 3 years ago, appeared in 41 games, batted .345, earned midseason league all-star honors that summer, as Hayes will fire back to first base and check on the lunging Horton. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody out. Top of the first, just underway. No score between the Muckdogs and the Pioneers. Second matchup in just about 3 hours. Third matchup of the season. Series tied even at 1 apiece between two rivals that dueled it out for the West Division Championship last year. Pitches inside from Hayes to Fry, and the count runs to 2 balls and a strike. Fry in his 2024 season at the University of Toledo played in 17 games, started in 12. A modest 2 hits, 3 RBIs, 2 runs for him, a homer and 3 walks. 2-1 from the righty Hayes. First he'll check on Horton once again. Horton leaning off the first base bag. Horton, a transfer out of Liberty University, where he started in 45 of 51 games in his sophomore season in 2024. And he can make some noise on the bases. 33 runs. Was named to the 2024 CSC Academic All-District Baseball team. Hayes just missing inside with a fastball. Brendan looking to get ahead with the heater. 3 balls and a strike to the center fielder, Brian Fry. Hayes comes set from the right side of the rubber. Runner goes, that's Horton. It's a moot point. Pitch down and in. And Fry walks. So a hit batsman and a walk to lead things off for Batavia. And that's how the ball game begins. Runners on first and second with nobody out. And the extra hitter, Jackson Inman, will come to the plate. Inman out of Salisbury University. A .354 hitter across 43 ball games this season. He digs in from the left side. 3rd consecutive lefty to come to the plate against Hayes in the top of the first inning. He lofts one down the left field line. It's going to be a long run over for Simmons, who will give it a look, and it'll go into the picnic area out of play, 0-1. Inman started in game 1 for the Muckdogs. 0 for 3, 2 groundouts, and a strikeout swinging in the top of the 7th inning against Casey Julkowski, who came in for his second relief appearance of the season. Casey's been money so far for the Pioneers. No earned runs across 4 innings of action. 0-1 count coming. Full crowd here on a Friday night. Nobody out. Swing and a miss. Fastball dotted at the letters on the inside corner. And it's 0-2 to Jackson Inman. Outfield is at medium depth. Middle infield at double play depth. Simmons about 10 feet to the left of the bag at third. About 5 feet back from the bag. In at the corner at first base is Michael Palmer. 0-2 from Hayes, and a high fly ball to center field. Going back is Fatovich. He settles under it. Horton will tag. Fatovich makes the catch. The throw comes in all the way to third, but advancing safely and now taking second on a double tag up is Brian Fry. So a long first out. Goes about 340 feet to deep center field. Fatovich camps under it and puts it away. But regardless, both Horton and Fry advance to third and second base respectively. So a productive out off the bat of Inman, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter in tonight's ball game and the third baseman Justin Espinal. Little baby shark action going. A lot of kids here from the local Little Leagues on this warm Friday evening, second Friday evening of the season that the Pioneers have been in June. Or rather, should I say, in the season. Played their first Friday night ball game May 30th against Jamestown, a 7-4 loss. Also a fireworks night. There's a swing and a miss from Espinal. Fourth consecutive lefty in against Hayes. And the count runs to 0-1. Brendan doing a good job establishing with that inner half fastball. As he's working from the right side of the rubber. Calm command with Horton leading off a third. Fry leading off a second. This one grounded first base side past the dive. Covering the bag is Hayes. The throw in time to first from Martineau, who was backing up Palmer. And a nice play made by Ty. Nonetheless, a run scores. And for the second consecutive ball game, Batavia opens up the scoring with a 1-0 lead. So productive outs, the name of the game for the Muckdogs so far. They only plated one run in the first inning last time out. That was the only run they saw across 7 innings. Pioneers pitching doing a fantastic job in game number 1 of keeping Batavia on their toes in the batter's box. 6 collective strikeouts, but that doesn't tell the entire story. As we alluded to, Casey Julkowski, a 1-2-3 top of the 7th, and a great start in his debut from Owen Hoyt earlier this afternoon. Hayes fires a fastball in for a called strike to the second baseman, Caleb Walker, who's batting with 2 outs. Fry leads off a third. Horton scored on the 4-3 putout, or 4-1 putout, shall I say, from Justin Espinal. Missing inside there is Hayes, and the count runs even, a ball and a strike. Just underway here in game number 2 of the doubleheader between Batavia and Elmira. Hayes delivers, chopped foul out of play, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. 1 run, still no hits for Batavia. Horton came around to score. He led off the game getting plunked by Hayes. Hayes will look to complete the inning on Walker here. A long pause and a delivery, and the sliders fouled off. Back to the screen, out of play. Batavia doing a good job of working the pitch count of Hayes early in this ball game. Hasn't come easy, but Hayes will look to get out of the top of the first without any further trouble. Delivers a fastball outside on the 1-2. So the count 2 balls and 2 strikes to the lefty hitting Caleb Walker. Walker started in 42 games at Alfred State this year, batted .268. 7 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, and he gets hit now. Hayes, frustrated with himself, slaps his glove in infuriation as making the trip down to first base is Caleb Walker. So runners on the corners with 2 outs in the top of the first. Batavia with a 1-0 lead, and it'll bring up the shortstop Tyler Castrotero. Fry is on third. Walker's on first. And the Mahopac, New York native and rising Hofstra University sophomore to dig in. First righty-on-righty matchup of the ball game against Brendan Hayes. Hayes working out of the stretch position. Right side of the rubber, outfield at medium depth with 2 outs. First offering lined into center field for a base hit. Fry will score. as Fanovich gets it quickly back in. An RBI single off the bat of Castrotero, and the Muckdogs lead 2-0. So the first hit of the ball game for Batavia plates the second run, and Hayes still not out of the woods yet. He'll deal with the left-handed hitting left fielder Braden Reyna. Hayes comes set. 2 looks at second. Out of the stretch position, kicks and fires. Fastball on the inner third for a called strike. Reyna, the left fielder, appeared in game number 1 as a designated hitter. 1 for 2 in the ball game with a single and a ground out. 0-1 from Hayes with 2 outs, and the breaking ball catches the outside corner for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. Top of the first, Batavia off and running with a 2-0 advantage. Hayes comes set, righty on lefty matchup. A peek at Walker off the second base, who takes off. 0-2, swing and a miss. And that'll end the top of the first. But in the inning for Batavia, 2 runs on a hit, no errors, and they strand 2 runners on base. We'll take it to the bottom of the first. The score, Batavia 2, Elmira 0 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunn Field as we get you set for the bottom of the first inning. The Batavia Muckdogs ahead of the Elmira Pioneers, 2-0. Let's take a look at the Pios batting order this evening. Dylan Fanovich, the center fielder, will lead things off. Cooper Smith in right field will bat second. TJ Germestes, the extra hitter, he'll bat third. John Simmons at third base will do the cleanup. Liam O'Neill at shortstop will bat fifth. Ty Martineau at second base will bat sixth. Made a fine play in the top of the first inning. Carl Wagner doing the catching this evening. He'll bat seventh. Brooks Hicken is a designated hitter. He'll bat eighth. Michael Palmer will bat ninth and man first base. Ben Rohde in left field will bat 10th. So here comes Fanovich, the product out of the University of North Florida at Jacksonville, one of 3 Duval County natives to appear on the Pioneers this summer, along with Brooks Hicken and Ty Martineau, all 3 Jacksonville boys in the Pioneers lineup tonight, and they'll go up against the right-hander Cameron Koppel, who's working out of the stretch position, tall, lean frame, kicks and fires to Fanovich, and the fastball taken high at the letters by Dylan. It's 1-0. Pioneers gave up 2 runs in the top of the first. Brendan Hayes had to work himself through a little bit of trouble as fastball misses down to Fanovich. Dylan quickly ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. And take a look at Cameron Koppel, who fires, and there's a called strike. Koppel, a native of Tampa, Florida, just completing his freshman season at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Koppel's found luck as a 2-way talent so far, both as a pitcher and has had some success at the plate. Here's a fly ball deep down the left field line. Ranging over towards the corner is Reyna, and he camps under it and puts it away for a long first out. So good piece by Fanovich the other way, but doesn't find any green grass. And with 1 out and the base is empty, here comes the right fielder Cooper Smith. Smith went 0 for 4 in the ball game earlier today. 2 ground outs and 2 fly balls to right field. Digs in from the right side with 1 out, and the fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike 1. Koppel tossed 25 in the third innings, yielding a very formidable 2.13 ERA. It's a check swing by Cooper. Home plate umpire calls it itself. Cooper went around, strike 2. 53 at-bats for Koppel as well. Can serve as a multifaceted rover for this Batavia Muckdogs squad as he fires outside to Smith, a ball and 2 strikes. 6 runs, 5 RBIs, a triple, and 8 doubles offensively. But the Muckdogs only care about the value he's providing on the mound right now. He's ahead 1-2 on Smith, delivers, and a called strike 3. Cooper takes at the letters. He's retired via the backwards K, 2 down in the bottom of the first. So here comes TJ Gramesti. Need we say any more about him? He has put up unbelievably wild numbers in his first 4 games as an Elmira Pioneer. 1 for 1, reached base in all 3 plate appearances in Game 1. A .666 batting average, leads the entire perfect game collegiate baseball league as he digs in with the Pios trailing by 2 with the bases empty and 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Launches the first offering go outside and now takes the 1-0 heater. Letter high down the middle for a called strike. Gramesti homered a 2-run shot in the bottom of the first against Auburn here on Tuesday night. Part of a comeback victory for the Pios in which they scored 5 unanswered. Then Auburn, fortunately for them, tied the game at 5. But then the Pios got a run in the bottom of the 5th, run in the bottom of the 6th. Salvage victory on Tuesday and got a win against Batavia here earlier today. Both the Pioneers 1-1 against the Double Days. And the Muckdogs as Gramesti fouls it off. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Koppel comes set, delivers. Gramesti a high pop. First baseman Ewing check that comes in and he puts it away to complete a 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Koppel. No runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We played an inning in Elmira. 2-0 Muckdogs here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira as we get you set for the top of the second inning with the Batavia Muckdogs ahead of your Elmira Pioneers 2-0. I'm Farrell Hudson on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Elmira taking home the victory in the first game, 3-1. Got their work cut out for them here, though, in game number 2. It'll be the 8, 9, and 10 in the Batavia order due up. Here's James Bolton out of SUNY Cortland, digging in from the right side against the right-hander Brendan Hayes, who fires a changeup low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Hayes kicks and fires his next offering to Bolton, misses low and away again, 2-0. Bolton, a local native of upstate New York, and a graduate of Webster Thomas High School in the greater Rochester area, takes a fastball from Hayes for a called strike. hasn't gotten as much playing time at SUNY Cortland, with the Red Dragons only appeared a total of 6 games across the last 2 seasons. Bolton watches a fastball low at the knees. 3 balls and a strike to the Batavia 8-hitter to lead things off here in the top of the 2nd inning. Hayes, who had to labor through the 1st inning, only surrendered a hit, but plunked 2 batters, walked a guy, and walks another guy here in Bolton as the fastball misses inside. 5 pitches, and Bolton's aboard with nobody out here in the top of the 2nd. So the free passes have been a recurring theme and issue to open up the ball game for Brendan Hayes. Brendan will look to get back into rhythm, though, here as he faces the left-handed hitting first baseman Blake Ewing. Bolton, about a 10-foot lead off first with nobody out. Hayes will check on him. Ewing out of Columbus, Ohio, Point Park University attendee. Not too much time spent physically on the field yet at Point Park as he fouls it off down the left field line. An important game for the Pioneers. You've built momentum with 2 consecutive victories on your home field. Only a 7-inning ball game here in Game 2. Second game of a twin bill with the Muckdogs. 0-1 from the righty Hayes, working out of the stretch position with nobody out. Line drive down the left field line, foul out of play. Hayes working quickly ahead of the muscular Batavia corner infielder. No balls and 2 strikes the count with nobody out, and the Pios trailing by 2. Hayes comes set and delivers, chopped in front of the plate. A high Baltimore chop for Hayes, who has trouble handling it. And Blake Ewing is going to reach on the most unconventional Baltimore chop single about 20 feet in front of home plate. So a tough beginning for Hayes, 1st and 2nd with nobody out, with Batavia already ahead 2-0 here in the top of the 2nd. Head coach Andrew Drum, who just earned his 100th victory in his managerial career with the Elmira Pioneers just about an hour ago. He's got faith in his right-handed starting pitcher. And for Hayes, he's got life, and he's got stuff on his fastball. Brendan's certainly capable of executing in tough situations, but a little bit of a pickle to open up tonight's ball game, but only 3 outs in, so good news for the Pioneers. 1 ground ball, 1 pitch can get you right back in the game here. Hayes will look to do that as he faces Cooper Fesh out of Keystone College to round out the batting order for the Muckdogs this evening. Brendan gets his sign and comes set with Simmons creeping in at the corner at 3rd. Palmer is in at the bag at 1st. Middle infield at double play depth and outfield at medium depth. First offering to Fesh is a foul ball, 0-1. For Batavia, 2 runs on 2 hits in an inning plus. A 1 on the way from Hayes. Squaring him up, now pulling it back. No advancement from either Bolton or Ewing. Pitch is inside. And it's ball and a strike with nobody out. Let's go Pios chant starting from the crowd here at Dunfield, squaring a bunt and dropping it foul. So now good news for the Pioneers is Fesh cannot bunt here with 2 strikes unless he wants to risk striking out, which I would not imagine so. You have an RBI opportunity. Bolton's off a 2nd, Ewing off a 1st, nobody out, and you've already mounted a 2-run advantage in a game in which your pitchers have to record 6 less outs in order to earn victory. Hayes comes set right side of the rubber out of the stretch position. 1 long look at 2nd, kicks and fires, hit on the ground towards 1st. Palmer is going to feed Hayes covering the bag in time, but both Bolton and Ewing in advance into scoring position, so a productive out off the bat of Fesh, who rounds out the Batavia batting order. And with 2 Ducks in scoring position. It'll be back to the top in Braden Horton. Horton digging in from the left side, got plunked on the second pitch of the ball game on his right shin. Digs in from the left side, outfield at medium depth. Simmons is in at the third base bag with 1 out. Change up low and in to Horton, 1 ball and no strikes. Hayes comes set, fires Horton a swing and a miss. Slider letter high with some good 9-3 movement on it. Hayes induces Horton to cut through it, a ball and a strike. Horton, a local native of Sayre, Pennsylvania, and he gets plunked again. How about that? So, might we add 2? His brother Luke, an Elmira Pioneer. Luke Horton getting the start the other night against Auburn. Both Luke and Braden having a chat pregame. So just like that, the third hit batsman of the ball game. Horton's plunked for the second time. And with 1 out, that'll bring up the center fielder Brian Fry, who walked in his first trip to the plate this evening. 2-0 Batavia leads with 1 out here in the top of the second. Corners are in, middle infield at double play depth, outfield at medium depth. Line drive back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Coming in to score is Bolton Ewing right behind him on a 2-run single off the bat of Brian Fry, and Batavia leads 4-0. And now taking a stumble is Michael Palmer at first base. Looks like he was going to cut it off and had some trouble in the process of doing so. Might have rolled his ankle. You don't want to make any assumptions. Trainer will come out, I would assume, as well as manager Andrew Drum once he's done feeding balls to our home plate umpire. So Palmer a bit shaken up. Gingerly back to his feet, now into a crouch as Carl Wagner, Brendan Hayes, and the rest of the Pioneers infield gather around their starting first baseman. So Palmer's going to remain in the game. In the inning, 2 more runs for Batavia on a hit. The blow coming off the bat of the center fielder Brian Fry. Horton will lead off a second, Fry off a first, with both Bolton and Ewing home on the base hit off the bat of Fry. And with 1 out, coming to the plate is the 3-hitter in Jackson Inman. Inman digging in from the left side, hit a fly ball to Dylan Fatovich in relatively deep center field his first trip to the plate. Hayes stirs in, gets his sign. Delivers with 1 out. High fly ball, deep center field. Fatovich on his horse. Going back all the way to the warning track. It's over his head and off the wall. Rounding third and easily scoring is Horton. And advancing up to third is Fry on a long RBI double off the bat of Jackson Inman. And Batavia leads 5-0. So the top 3 in the Batavia order so far in the ballgame doing yeoman's work. 5 for 6. They're off and running with a 5-0 lead. Pioneers have to bring the infield in. 2 more runners in scoring position. And Elmira's bullpen and Gio Valerio are now getting active. 5 runs on 4 hits through an inning in the third against the right-hander Brendan Hayes, who delivers a sinker low and inside to the left-handed hitting Justin Espinal. Batavia third baseman in the cleanup role. Hayes from the right side of the rubber kicks and fires, low and inside again to Espinal. 2 balls and no strikes. Espinal grounded out to the second baseman, Ty Martineau, who hurled off balance to the covering Brendan Hayes on a very nice athletic play in the top of the first. Since that out has been recorded, which made it 2 outs in the top of the first, things were looking promising for Hayes and the Pios to get out of it unscathed. It's been downhill since. Brendan fires a fastball in the inner half for a called strike. 2-1 the count with 1 out. Hayes sets and delivers, grounded foul. First base side out of play. 2-2 the count to Espinal. Five-0 Batavia leads. We're in the top of the second inning with 1 out. Hayes comes set right side of the rubber. Kicks, delivers, chopped foul by Espinal, back to the screen once again to stay alive. Fry leads off a third. Inman off a second. And Espinal working himself a quality at bat against Hayes, who's, suffice to say, in relative fatigue so far. 5 runs already in. An inning and a third, but a swing and a miss there. A high slider from Brendan gets Espinal to chase through it. And that's the second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the ball game for Brendan. And with 2 runners on and 2 outs, that'll bring up the second baseman, Caleb Walker. Walker digging in from the left side with 2 outs. Walker, one of Hayes' 3 victims who got plunked, rolls one on the ground to first. Palmer has a tough time handling it. He'll flip to Hayes just in enough time, and that'll get the Pios out of the top of the second inning. But in the inning, 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 2 runners stranded on base. We played an inning and a half. The score, Batavia 5, Elmira 0 here at the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunfield as we get you set for the bottom of the second inning. It'll be the middle third in the Pioneers' order, due up against Cameron Koppel in his second inning of work, who worked a clean 1-2-3 inning in the home stanza of the first. 0-1 misses outside from Koppel. To the left-handed hitting Simmons, a ball and a strike. John, the product out of Liberty University, 9 homers and 43 RBIs. Across 64 starts in 2 seasons. 1-1 to Simmons. High fastball, letter high. John takes inside, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to count with nobody out. Bottom of the second, Simmons, a fly ball deep center field. Turns Fry around, back on his horse. It's over his head. Simmons coasting around first. He's motoring towards second, and he's thinking 3. Simmons makes the turn, and he'll get into third with a head-first slide and a triple. So a good energy jolt for the Pioneers to lead things off here in the bottom of the second. First hit of the ball game for Elmira. So here comes Liam O'Neill to the plate. The Tennant's Harbor Maine native and University of Bridgeport senior digs in from the right side against the righty Koppel. Corners are in. Middle infield will play back for the out. Outfield at medium depth. Brian Fry shades over towards right center. That one skips away from the catcher, and here comes Simmons to the plate. He'll score on a pass ball, and the Pios make it 5-1. So a run home in the inning. Now for Elmira as Simmons crosses the plate after a booming triple deep to center field over the head of the speedy Brian Fry. So the bases are empty. Elmira trailing by 4. And Liam O'Neill takes a called strike on the outer half, 1-1. Koppel, deep breath, comes set, delivers fastball inside to O'Neill. 2 balls and a strike. Next pitch, fastball high. Liam firmly in command, 3 balls and a strike. O'Neill got the start against Auburn at the shortstop position on Tuesday night. Was over 3, reached base once, got plunked in the bottom of the first. Rolls one here on the ground to third. The high hop handled by Espinal, the throw across the diamond in time for out number 1. So 5-3 put out. And with the bases empty and 1 out, Pios trail by 4. It'll be the left-handed hitting second baseman, Ty Martineau, to come to the plate. First pitch to Martineau. His fastball taken inside. 1-0. Ty smacks one on a line over the first baseman Ewing's head into right field for a base hit. Well, a good piece of hitting by the Pios second baseman. Second hit of the inning for Elmira. And Martineau's aboard with 1 out. So here comes Carl Wagner, the catcher. Out of Washington and Jefferson. Wagner to dig in from the right side. Here with 1 out. Wagner last caught in the game against Geneva last Sunday, the suspended ball game to be made up this Tuesday. An 8-3 lead for the Pioneers in the bottom of the 4th when that game resumes this Tuesday, June 17th. Wagner took a fastball outside corner for a called strike, now takes one at the knees low, and the count goes 1-1. Second game of a doubleheader between the Muckdogs and the Pioneers. 5 runs on 4 hits. No errors for the Muckdogs. 1 run on 2 hits and no errors for your Pioneers. 1-1 count. To the right-handed hitting Wagner. The slight lead off the first base bag for the speedy Martineau. Extends it here in a line drive. Caught at shortstop. An athletic play. Throwback to the first base bag. Not in time. Almost nabbed Martineau. Now skirts away from Ewing. An athletic play made by the Muckdogs shortstop Tyler Castratero for the second out of the inning. So here comes Brooks Hicken with 2 outs and Martineau off of first base. Hicken with a tall lean stance in the left-handed batter's box. Snap throw back to the bag. As Koppel's keeping a very close eye on Martineau. In the inning for the Pios, Simmons, a triple to lead off, then scored on a pass ball. Liam O'Neill grounded to third base. Ty Martineau spanked a single on a line into right field. That's where we stand now, 1-0 with 2 outs. Elmira down 5-1. Pitch to Hicken, fastball outside corner. Brooks taking at the top of the zone for a called strike 1. Martineau bluffs, line drive, caught at third. What a play made by Espinal, ranging to his backhand side to snare the liner to conclude the inning. It's a start for Elmira, though. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner stranded on base. We've played 2 innings at the done, 5-1 Muckdogs. Here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. We head to the top of the 3rd inning here from Dunn Field. The Pios getting their first run in the bottom of the 2nd inning on a booming line drive triple off the bat of John Simmons, who came in to score on a pass ball by the catcher Fesh. As we turn it over here to the 3rd, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 in the Batavia order, due up against Brendan Hayes, who's had to labor through 2 innings of work, 5 earned runs to his name so far. He'll deal with the right-handed hitting shortstop Tyler Castratero to lead it off. And Brendan fires a fastball below the knees, 1-0. One ball, no strike, the count. Line drive right at third base. Simmons finds it in his glove for the first out. So Castratero lines it right to John, who makes the play. 1 out and the base is empty in the top of the 3rd. It'll be the left-handed hitting Braden Reyna to come to the dish. Reyna struck out against Hayes. One of only 2 strikeout victims in the ballgame so far against Brendan. For the Muckdogs, digs in from the left side. Hayes delivers inside, almost clipped Reyna, 1-0. Hayes delivers and a ground ball past Martineau into right field for a base hit. Martineau lunged to his forehand side. Thought about an attempted all-out dive to stab it, but was unable to. Does that add enough mustard on it to squirt through to the outfield? And it does so effectively. A 1-out single off the bat of the left fielder, Reyna. That'll bring up the designated hitter, James Bolton. Bolton digging in from the right side of the plate. Timeout called. Bolton steps out, regathers himself, now comes back in to face Hayes. Brendan comes set, snap throw back to first base. And they'll take a look on Reyna. Hayes kicks and delivers. Grounded wide, a third, foul. That got Joey Skip Martinez, Batavia manager. Rolls out to Simmons. No balls and a strike, the count. with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Batavia scored 5 runs on 5 hits through 2 1/3 against Brendan Hayes. Pioneers plating a run on 2 hits. Slider catches the outside corner for a called strike. Brendan in the driver's seat on Bolton. 1-2 the count with 1 out. Hayes comes set. Fires an 0-2 swing and a miss in the dirt. And Bolton is retired for the 2nd out, with Reyna at first. So the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Hayes. All have come swinging. And with 2 outs and Reyna off of first, it'll be Blake Ewing, the first baseman. Ewing comes to the dish, righty on lefty matchup. Hayes a snap throw back to the bag. Keeps an eye on Reyna. Ewing deposited a single and came around to score in the top of the 2nd. Watches the 0-0 offering in the dirt. It's 1-0. He sets, fires inside fastball. Almost clips Ewing on the hip. 2-0. Hayes sets, delivers his next offering, a swing and a miss. Hardy hack on an inner half heater. 2 balls and a strike, the count with 2 outs. Pioneers down by 4 here in the top of the 3rd. Hayes comes set. Reyna dances off the first base bag as Hayes will snap back to keep an eye on him. Two-one with 2 outs. Hayes catches the outside corner with a fastball. Home plate umpire went into his called strike 3 motion, and then he realized and he said, "Oh shoot, that's only 2 strikes." Hayes and the Pioneers would wish for strike 3 here, though. He's got Ewing where he wants him. 2-strike pitch on the way, and Ewing slaps one foul. Third base side out of play. They'll do the 2-2 again. Hayes kicks and fires, and it breaking ball hits Ewing. So the hit batsmen have certainly magnified the control issue for Hayes so far in the ball game. Drum's going to come out to the mound, and this might do it for Brendan. 2 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs on 5 hits. He's plunked 4 batters. And Drum's going to take the ball from Hayes and make a call to the bullpen. We'll take a brief timeout and come back in a few moments. Batavia leads 5-1. Top of the 3rd inning, 2 outs here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira, 5-1. The Batavia Muckdogs lead here in the top of the third. A new pitcher in the ballgame for the Pios. It's Gio Valerio, a 0 ERA across one inning this season. Came against the Auburn Double Days last Saturday. A perfect 1-2-3 relief effort in the bottom of the eighth inning against Auburn at Falcon Park. He comes in with 2 outs in the top of the third, and he'll deal to the left-handed hitting Cooper Fesh a ball and a strike. Batavia already twice through their batting order. We're only here in the top half of the third. Next offering, a fly ball into center field. Fatovich goes back on his horse, settles under it, and puts it away to his forehand side to end the top half of the third inning. For Batavia, no runs on a hit, no errors, and they strand 2 runners left on base. We've played 2.5 innings. The score, Muckdogs 5, Pioneers 1, here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Bottom of the third inning on tap here from Elmira. Pioneers trailing the Muckdogs 5-1. Taking the mound for his third inning of work is Cameron Koppel. The right-hander deals, and Michael Palmer swats one foul down the right field line out of play, 0-1. Pioneers so far 1 run on 2 hits. Came both in the bottom of the second inning. As Batavia firmly in command, 5-1. Brendan Hayes' final line on the day is complete. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. 5 earned runs on 5 hits in 2 2/3 innings. Gio Valerio came in to induce the final out of the top of the third. 1-1 is a fastball on the inside corner. Palmer takes for a called strike 2. Mike up to bat for his first plate appearance. A swing and a miss at a slider in the dirt. Koppel gets him to chase. Tagged out in the baseline by Fesh for the first out at the bottom of the third. So it's back, or rather, to the 10 hitter in Ben Rohde. So used to saying Ben Rohde's name at the top of the batting order. He's already appeared 3 or 4 games in the leadoff spot. In the back end of this doubleheader, he's batting 10th, though. It'll be Rohde followed by Fatovich. The minimum due up for the Pios here in the third. Righty-on-righty matchup. Koppel offers a fastball over the inside corner for a called strike. Koppel's 0-1. Rohde fists it down the right field line. That's going to be fair for a base hit. Ben makes the turnaround first. He'll stop right there. A 1-out single. Go Pios chants starting from the kids in attendance tonight. A fireworks night, one of 4 fireworks nights on the season, one of 3 remaining. Opening night, fireworks night tonight, July 3rd and July 18th, with these very same Batavia Muckdogs back in town that evening. 1 out, snap throw back to the first base bag, not in time. So it'll be 0-0, ready on lefty matchup. To the left-handed hitting Fatovich, who flew out deep down the left field line to open up the bottom of the first. Takes a strike, it's 0-1. 3 hits for the Pioneers and 2 1/3. Against the right-hander Cameron Koppel, snap throw back to the first base bag, not in time to nab Palmer, who's extended out to about a 12-foot lead. Oh, 0-1 the count. Koppel kicks and deals. Outside corner fastball, called strike 2. In the outfield, left to right for Batavia, it's Braden Reyna in left, Brian Fry in center, and Horton's over in right. Strike 3 called. Throw down to second base. Tag is not applied in time, so a stolen base, but a caught looking for Fatovich. He's down for the second out at the bottom of the third. But taking second base is Michael Palmer. That's Braden Horton in right field. Braden, Luke's brother, as we alluded to earlier in the broadcast. With 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Here comes Mr. Elmira, Cooper Smith, who will dig in from the right side against Koppel with 2 outs. 3 Ks on the day for Koppel. Through 2 2/3. 2 via the backwards K, one of them coming to Cooper Smith in the bottom of the first. And the first pitch is inside. 1-0 to Cooper. Koppel sets and delivers. Fastball just misses the outer edge, 2-0. Koppel's next offering, Smith a check swing in the dirt, did not go around, 3-0. Koppel still yet to issue his first base runner via the free pass. Pioneers are hoping that can come here in the form of Smith. If so, they'll get their hottest hitter in TJ Grimesti to the plate. 3-0 from Koppel with 2 outs. Fastball outside corner, called strike to Smith. Cooper entering today's games batting .333, 4 for 12 batting average. Not too far off from the mark that he achieved with Tufts this season at .341. 3-1 grounded through the third base hole into left field for a base hit. Rounding third and coming to the plate is Palmer. Here's the throw from Reyna. It's up the line, not in time. Squirts past the catcher Fesh into the backstop. It's an RBI single for Cooper Smith, and the Pios make it 5-2. So here comes TJ Grimesti with the Pios trailing by 3 in the bottom of the third. It'll be Grimesti to dig in from the right side. TJ in the ball game popped up to the first baseman Espinal in the bottom of the first. Righty on righty matchup with Koppel. Smith, an 8-foot lead off the first base bag in the first offering. Inside corner fastball. TJ takes for a called strike. It'll be an 0-1 from Koppel with 2 outs. Grimesti flies one down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It'll just hook foul. Would have been trouble for the Pioneers. Or rather, trouble for the Muckdogs. Success for the Pioneers, as that was going to find some open green grass in front of the left fielder Reyna, who's playing relatively deep with 2 outs. Outfield at no doubles defense depth. Middle infield on the lip of the outfield grass. Espinal about 10 feet behind the bag at third. And holding on Smith at first is Ewing. 0-2. Strays high. As Grimesti lays off the heater. 1-2 the count. Koppel comes set right side of the rubber, kicks and fires. Grimesti fouls it back. To stay alive, it remains 1-2. So 1-2 with 2 outs. Grimesti hard on the ground to the shortstop, taking it to the forehand side. Into the bag himself is Castrodero, just beating the hustling Smith by a couple steps to conclude the bottom half of the third. Play goes 6 unassisted. In the inning for the Pios, though, a run on 2 hits, no errors. They strand a runner on base. Let's take it to the fourth. The score: Batavia 5, Elmira 2. Here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira as we head to the top of the fourth inning from the Dun. The score: Batavia 5 and Elmira 2. Back to the top of the batting order for the Muckdogs. To lead things off here in the fourth, it'll be the right fielder in Braden Horton. Sayre, Pennsylvania native and Oklahoma Sooner. To dig in, lefty-on-lefty matchup with Gio Valerio. Steps off the mound, Bayside, New York native Vin Valerio. One of 2 attendees on the Pioneers from the University of Bridgeport. His buddy Liam O'Neill manning the shortstop position in tonight's ballgame. First offering from Valerio is a fastball low and away. Skips in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. For Horton, he had quite the senior season prior to beginning at Liberty University at Sayre High School. Horton made his presence be felt and known. .542 batting average, a .699 on-base percentage, and an absolutely belligerent 1.886 OPS, 6 homers and 32 RBIs. He was coached by Jamie Van Duzer, father of Cannon Van Duzer on the Geneva Red Wings. Speaking of the Geneva Red Wings, Pioneers take on the Red Wings tomorrow night for a 6:30 p.m. first pitch from McDonough Park as Horton grounds this into right field for a base hit. So the Batavia leadoff hitter is aboard with nobody out in the top of the fourth. Our live coverage begins with Pioneers pregame beginning tomorrow night at 6:15 here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. First pitch in Geneva shortly after 6:30 p.m. It's top of the fourth inning with nobody out. Horton wide lead off of first. Valerio will keep a close eye on him. Lefty-on-lefty matchup as Brian Fry comes to the dish. Valerio kicks and fires from the left side of the rubber. Breaking ball misses low and away. 1-0 the count to Fry. Valerio comes set. Long stare at Horton off the first base bag, and Gio will keep a close eye on him. Valerio, deep breath, comes set. Rocks and fires the 1-0. Fastball letter high for a called strike. We mentioned Fry and the success he had through 40-plus games in Batavia in 2022, where he accumulated a .345 batting average, went to Medina High School, and had quite the four-year high school career. He was named the Batavia Daily News Male Athlete of the Year in 2020-21. That was his senior year of high school. And because of how uniquely awkward that season was, if you remember, in New York State, football was from about March 1st to May 1st that year, which meant baseball was like May 1st to July 1st. He led his teams to state championships, not one, not two, not three, 4 sports: baseball, football, basketball, and soccer as a senior. Swing and a miss on an outside slider. Fry's retired for the first out. Taking the bag and stealing it is Horton, so he'll advance into scoring position. First strikeout of the ball game for Gio. He retires Fry on a nasty slider. 1 down here in the 4th. Career high school stats. Just to harp on just how unbelievably ludicrous Brian Fry was in his time at Medina High School. .463 batting average. And mind you, this was, I want to correct myself too, by the way, sectional title season in 4 sports. That's still unbelievable. .463, 28 runs, 15 RBIs, 15 extra base hits. And oh, by the way, if you remember, this was probably about a condensed, shortened 10 to 12 to 15 game season in the spring of 2021. Moving forward, here's the extra hitter, Jackson Inman. 1-0 count with 1 out. Valerio kicks and fires, blocked in the dirt by Wagner, who's been a wall back there tonight. 2 balls and no strikes the count. The Damascus, Maryland native in from the left side against the Bayside New York native in Valerio. No stranger to success himself. 354 batting average, shall I say, as he cuts through that one from Valerio. 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Batavia. 2 runs on 4 hits, and no errors for the Pioneers. Valerio, long sign. Gets it, and comes set. Ready to rock and deliver the 2-1 with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Good fastball over the outer half to get Inman to cut through it. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. .54 hits on the season for Inman prior to his arrival in Genesee County. 2-2 from Valerio. And the slider tapped into shallow right field. Going to be a long run in for Smith, who camps under it and puts it away for the second out. Fires right back into second. Horton scurries back to the bag. So 2 outs now in the top of the 4th. Still a run around second base for Batavia. It'll bring up the third baseman, Justin Espinal, to the dish. Espinal in today's ball game, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Going back to Espinal's last full season, really, really good one. 8 stolen bases. That's just when he gets on alone. .311 batting average, 4 homers, 35 RBIs. Muscular right-handed hitter. Can provide in the power department. He's in against Valerio with 2 outs, and the slider, Gio, firing in some junk at the letters. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Two outs in the top of the 4th. This condensed 7-inning ball game. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Pioneers trailing by 3 runs. Fouled off, back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes the count to the right-handed hitting Espinal with 2 outs. Shadows fully eliminated on this calm, cool, overcast gray evening from Dunfield in Elmira, New York. Valerio comes set. Left side of the rubber with Horton, a medium-sized lead off a second. Outfield at medium depth. 0-2 from Valerio with 2 outs. Curveball outside corner for a called strike 3. Second strikeout in the inning for Gio. And he washes away the leadoff single from Braden Horton. In the inning, no runs and 1 hit, no errors. Batavia strands a runner on base. We played 3.5. Muckdogs lead 5-2 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning at Dunfield. Pioneers trailing the Batavia Muckdogs 5-2. It's been a solid 3 innings so far for the Muckdogs starter and right-handed pitcher Cameron Koppel, who goes to work against the middle third in the Elmira order. Simmons, O'Neill, and Martineau here in the home half of the 4th, as John Simmons watches a fastball trickle over the outer edge for a called strike 1. John in the ballgame reached on a walk, on a triple to lead off the bottom of the 2nd. I briefly apologize. Knew that didn't sound right for a second. A triple in the bottom of the 2nd. Came in to score on a wild pitch shortly thereafter. 0-2. Fastball low and inside to Simmons. As we mentioned, he can really display the power. 9 homers in 64 games in his time at Liberty University. Equate that to about a 25 homer pace at the major league level. He can certainly provide that power spark. Division I pedigree and experience. And talents being taken here to the soaring capital of the world for the summer of 2025. Simmons still yet to see many game opportunities, but finding ways to get on base. Doesn't find a way to get on base here as he swings and misses through a changeup on the 2-2 offering from Koppel. John's retired for the first out of the 4th. Liam O'Neill comes to the dish. Right-handed hitter out of the University of Bridgeport to bat with 1 out. Bios trail by 3 and the base is empty here in the home half of the 4th. Koppel comes set, deep breath from the right side of the rubber. Kicks and fires, letter high fastball. Liam chases through it. Over the outer half, Koppel doing a good job executing high, low, in and out. Establishing control all around the strike zone this evening. 0-1 to O'Neill. Liam takes in the dirt. A ball and a strike. One O'Neill. A cut and a foul tip into the catcher's glove of Fesh. 1-2. Koppel comes set. 1-2. Called strike 3. O'Neill down by the backwards K for the second out of the 4th. 5 strikeouts in the ball game. 3 of them caught looking. And Ty Martineau, who lined a single into right field in the bottom of the 2nd, is up with 2 outs here in the 4th. Koppel comes set, kicks and fires. Martineau squares to bunt, draws it back. Opts to take strike 1. Righty on lefty matchup. Koppel looking to complete his first clean inning of work since the first. 1-1 the count with 2 outs, as Koppel misses low and inside with a fastball. It'll be a 1-1 with 2 outs. Martineau winds it deep to right field. Going back is Horton, settles under it, and puts it away for the final out of the 4th. Down go the Pios in order 1-2-3. No runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We played 4 innings at the Dunn. 5-2 Batavia leads here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Five to 2 the Muckdogs lead as we get you set for the top of the 5th inning. Gio Valerio on for his second full inning of work. He's faced 5 batters that have come to the plate against him so far. 2 strikeouts, 1 hit, no earned runs. As we get set for the top of the 5th inning, it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 in the Batavia order due up against the southpaw Valerio, Walker, Castratero, and Reyna in successive order for the visitors. Lefty on lefty matchup, squaring to bunt, drawing it back, and taking the slider high for ball 1 is Caleb Walker, the second baseman. Walker in the ball game 0 for 1. Grounded to first base, got plunked. One of 4 victims of the hit by pitch by starter Brendan Hayes in tonight's ball game. As Valerio misses off the plate with a slider, it's 2 balls and no strikes. Batavia 0-2 on the road, so are the Pioneers, but Elmira more importantly 2-1 at home, including 2 consecutive victories, one over Auburn on Tuesday night and one earlier this afternoon against Geneva, 3-1, in which the pitching was the star of the show. A great start by Owen Hoyt, followed up by a clean 1-2-3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, like top of the 7th inning to close out Andy Drum's 100th managerial win as an Elmira Pioneer from Casey Julkowski. 4-pitch walk to lead off the 5th, however, from Caleb Walker. First walk of the ball game issued by Valerio. And that'll bring up the right-handed hitting shortstop Tyler Castratero. Hofstra University product spanked one on the line his last plate appearance to lead off the 3rd inning. Right into the web of John Simmons. So a lefty on righty matchup, middle infield at double play depth. Palmer will hold on. Walker, who led off the 5th with a 4-pitch walk. Valerio comes set left side of the rubber. 2 looks at first base and now taking off. Pitch high. No throw from Wagner. Too quick is Caleb Walker. He steals the bag easily. So the count 1 ball and no strikes. Here with nobody out, top of the 5th inning. And Batavia's got a runner in scoring position with a 3-run advantage. Valerio kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses inside. 2-0 the count to Castratero. Valerio comes set. Left side of the rubber, one peak at second base. Delivers inside corner fastball for a called strike one. Batavia and Elmira tied at 1 in the season series. Muckdogs taking the first ball game May 31st in Batavia, 13-1. Pioneers winning earlier, 3-1. 2-1 from Valerio with nobody out. Flied foul. Back behind the screen, out of play. 2-2 the count. Elmira is hoping third time will be the charm as the Pioneers go for their third consecutive victory here on home field. Have some uphill sledding to do, though, for sure. They trail by 3 with only 9 outs remaining, is now getting plunked on the inside breaking ball was Tyler Castratero. And that's tough because Valerio had him at 2 strikes. So a walk and a hit batsman, self-inflicted wounds, continuing to bite the Pioneers pitching staff through the opening couple ball games this season. Game number 6 already. Pioneers in danger of dropping to 2-4. There's certainly time to make it up, though, as this is only the 6th ball game of the season for the Pios. Already the 10th for Batavia. Niagara's played 8. Newark's playing their 7th tonight. Jamestown playing their 8th. Geneva playing their 7th. So Pioneers, when all is said and done, at the end of the evening, will still hold an advantage on games played. So in the win column, a chance to make up a lot of ground. Runners on first and second with nobody out to lead things off here in the top of the 5th with Elmira trailing by 3. Walker will lead off a second, Castratero off a first. Corners come in. Middle infield at double play depth with no one out, taken off for third base, and that's a savant baseball player. Now the throw goes into center field, and a run's going to come in to score. How about that? So the errors just biting the Pioneers as Wagner airmails it like a rocket into center. Fanovich plays it back in, but Walker scores on an E2 from the catcher Wagner. It's 6-2 Batavia. Castratero's now up to second as Braden Reyna, the left fielder, assumes a 1-0 count. Valerio's next offering is a fastball high. Gio starting to lose a bit of command here in the visitors' half of the 5th inning, and the rain starting to trickle down a bit here at Dunn Field. Guess it wouldn't be a week in Elmira in 2025 if it weren't for a little rain. That's the kind of adversity the Pioneers have been dealing with in the early going this season. There's a swing and a miss from Reyna. 2 balls and a strike to the left-handed hitting Muckdog. 1 for 2 in the ball game, a strikeout in the first, a single in the third. Valerio comes set, rocks and fires the 2-1, and it's high and away, 3 balls and a strike. Valerio went 5 consecutive hitters to open up his relief outing. Giving the Pioneers a little bit of longevity and accuracy on the mound. This one comes nowhere even close to the strike zone. Taken off for third and now rounding third. Thinking of coming to the plate, Valerio's going to get quickly down to home to cover. As motoring around third, thinking about steaming the full 180 feet was Castratero. Nonetheless, it's a walk to Reyna on 4 pitches. That's going to bring Andy Drum out of the dugout, and that very likely could do it on the day for Gio Valerio. Pioneers trail by 4 runs. Valerio seemingly ready to hand the ball to the skipper himself. He'll depart with nobody out in the top of the 5th. Pios trail by 4. We'll take a short timeout and come back in a few short moments here in the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira. Top of the fifth inning, 6-2. The Pioneers trail the Batavia Muckdogs. As the new pitcher is on, it's Larson Birch out of Northern Essex Community College, who delivers a fastball high and away. To the right-handed hitting James Bolton, designated hitter tonight for Batavia. His reach base in the top of the second, came around to score on a walk. Birch digging in from the right side. Rather, firing from the right side, shall I say. And a righty-on-righty matchup to Bolton. He misses 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Here in the top of the fifth inning, nobody out. Castrotero leads off of third, and now a wild pitch to the backstop. Coming in to score is Castrotero, and taking off going all the way to third is Reyna. So sloppy baseball by the Pioneers as a second run comes in to score. Not even a hit yet this inning. And Batavia leads 7-2. And they have another run in Reyna 90 feet away. So it'll be a 3-0 count from Birch. With nobody out, Northern Essex Community College right-hander delivers for a called strike. Birch, no stranger to the Elmira Pioneers organization. His father, an alum of the organization years ago in their days of affiliation with Major League Baseball, was a 1998 first-round draft pick of the Kansas City Royals out of Virginia Christian University. As Birch has worked back from a 3-0 count to a full count. Pioneers trail by 5. Birch comes set, left side of the rubber, kicks and fires inside, missing to Bolton. So already the third walk of the inning issued by Pioneers pitching. 3 walks and a hit batsman. The infield will remain in. First and third, nobody out. And a 7-2 lead for Batavia. Here's Blake Ewing, the first baseman, to dig in from the left side. Ewing has reached base in both plate appearances in tonight's ball game. A single in the second, a walk in the third. Birch comes set, kicks and fires, first offering to Ewing, who fires the hips but doesn't bite. At a fastball inside, it's 1-0. Birch comes set, kicks and fires inside. Larson attempting to get command of the fastball ahead in the count. Unable to find the strike zone there. 2-0 with nobody out. Next offering is a fastball away. 3-0. There is a base to put Ewing, but then you'd have to deal with Cooper Fesh, who made hard contact his last plate appearance. Unless there's some miraculous triple play turned like a 1-5-3 out of the blue. Fesh is due up regardless, but ideally would like to retire Ewing beforehand. 3-1 with nobody out. And the fastball just misses inside. Birch, I'm sure, not too thrilled with that call. Another walk issued in the inning. The bases are loaded, still with nobody out. Batavia ahead by 5 runs. Reyna will lead off a third, Bolton off a second, Ewing off a first. And it'll be up to Cooper Fesh, rounding out the batting order. Pinch runner comes into the ball game. We'll look to identify who that is at second base. So here's Fesh, bases loaded, nobody out. Middle infield's at medium depth, corners are in. Outfield at their regular depth. Birch fires and the fastball called strike 1. Fesh is 0 for 2 in the ball game. rounds out the 10-man batting order for the Muckdogs this evening. 0-1 pitch coming with nobody out. Fesh hard on the ground past Martineau into right field for a base hit. Coming in to score is Raina Bolton right behind him on a 2-run single, or rather tagged out at the plate. Wagner is going to get Bolton, so apologies for speaking a little too soon. But first hit of the inning. It comes off the bat of Cooper Fesh. A run comes in to score, but finally the first out is made. Pioneers now behind 8-2. As the mental errors and walks just keep piling up early in the season for the Pios. Here's Braden Horton. Comes to the plate for the 4th time in the ballgame. Has reached base safely in all 3 plate appearances. 2 hit batsmen against Brendan Hayes, and a single off Gio Valerio in the top of the 4th. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Ewing leads off a second. Fesh is off a first. Bolton was nabbed down at the plate on a great throw from the right fielder Smith. Outside corner fastball from Birch to Horton is a called strike 1. For Batavia, 8 runs on 7 hits and no errors. For the Pioneers, 2 runs on 4 hits and an error. It'll be an 0-1 with 1 out. Birch fires and Horton fouls it off third base side out of play. Birch comes set. Long look at Ewing off second base. Here's a fly ball into center field. Fanovich sendles under it and puts it away for the second out. So Larson Birch induces a fly ball off the end of Horton's bat, and it'll bring up center fielder Brian Fry. He's come around to score in the ball game, including a 2-run double in the top of the second. He'll bat from the left side with 2 outs and another run in scoring position for him. Birch comes set and fires. Fastball just misses off the plate. (1-0) with 2 outs. Fastball outside corner for a called strike. (1-1) from Birch in the dirt. Nice block by Wagner to keep it right there. 2-1. Ewing leads off a second. Fesh off a first. 2-1 the count with 2 outs. Pioneers trail by 6 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. In the latter of a day-night doubleheader between the Muckdogs and the Pioneers. Birch comes set. 2-1 pitch. Fastball low and inside. At the knees of Fry. 3 balls and a strike. Birch comes set, fires, and a fly ball deep to left field. Going back is Rohde, way back, and it's over his head up against the wall. A run comes in to score. That's Ewing. Fesh right behind him on a 2-run double off the bat of Brian Fry. Batavia leads 10-2. So only the second hit of the inning, but the 5th run comes across on a 2 RBI double. 4 RBIs in the ball game for the University of Brockport center fielder. Batavia had 10-2 here in the visitors' half of the 5th inning. Righty on lefty matchup to the Batavia 3-hitter in Jackson Inman as he takes high and away for ball one. Inman in the ball game 1 for 3, an RBI double in the second, fly ball to center and a fly ball to right. Birch comes set, kicks and delivers the 1-0, fouled off third base side out of play, 1-1. The 1-1 coming from Birch with 2 outs. And the fastball's in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Here's Birch's 2-1 offering in the dirt. 3-1 the count. Grounded. Second base. Martineau's got it. The throw to first is wide, and a run is coming in to score. When it rains, it pours, folks. 11-2, Batavia leads. A 6-run inning for the Muckdogs as Fry comes in to score. Inman will lead off at first. An 11-2 lead for Batavia with 2 outs. First pitch from Birch in the dirt, 1-0. From Birch is a fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. It's the left-handed hitting Justin Espinal. 0 for 3 in the ball game with 2 strikeouts. 2-0, and he flies it down the left field line, foul out of play. This one lined deep into right center field, but cutting over is Cooper Smith to make a nice running grab to finally end the top half of the 5th inning. Now before 6 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and a runner stranded on base, Batavia bats around and leads 11-2 as we head to the home half of the 5th here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunn Field as we get you ready for the bottom of the 5th inning. 11-2, the Muckdogs lead in the nightcap of this day-night doubleheader. And a new pitcher on the bump for Batavia. Winding and firing, missing inside with a fastball. It's 1-0. Carl Wagner to lead off the 5th inning for the Pioneers. It's James Van Meter, 6'3", southpaw slinger out of Palm Beach State Junior College. Misses away with a breaking ball. A tall, imposing fellow working from the left side of the rubber. Deals with the 7, 8, and 9 in the Elmira order in the bottom of the 5th. Carl Wagner, Brooks Hicken, followed by Michael Palmer. Breaking ball catches the outer third for a called strike 1. 2-1 the count with nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Batavia leading 11-2. 11 runs on 8 hits and no errors for the Pioneers. 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. Wagner, a fly ball to right field. Settling under it is Horton, and he puts it away for the first down of the inning. Brooks Hicken comes to the plate with 1 out and the base is empty. Brooks in the ballgame, lined out to the third baseman Espinal on a great backhanded play by him. In the bottom of the 2nd, Hicken check swing at a slider in the dirt, did not bite. It's 1-0. Next offering, fastball outside corner for a called strike 1. Hicken steps out of the box, comes back in. Hicken got the start at first base against Batavia back on May 31st. Had a bit of a tougher night in the field, dropped a pop-up. But he's worked some strong counts and many at-bats in his time being since, rotating into the mix, often as a designated and extra hitter. Coach Andy Drum saying that it's not out of the realm of possibilities that any of these guys who might not field a position as much and be an EH field a position, and vice versa. Still all trying to get a beat. Only 6 games into the season. 6 down with about 42 to go. Even a short summer baseball season is still very long in the comparison to many other sports. 2-2 with 1 out, and that clips Hicken inside breaking ball. So Brooks is aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. So here comes Michael Palmer, lefty on lefty matchup. With James Van Meter. With 1 out, Hicken a medium-sized lead. Van Meter rocks and fires from the left side of the rubber. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Final line on Cameron Koppel on the evening. A really strong one. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Van Meter to assume the opening of the relief duties with 7 more outs to get in the ball game. Batavia up by 9 runs. As it's the 9-hitter in the Elmira order, Michael Palmer, with Ben Rohde, the left fielder, patiently awaiting on deck. 2-0 from Van Meter with 1 out, and the slider taken low in the dirt by Palmer. 3 balls and no strikes. Throw pitch with 1 out. Fastball misses low to Palmer. A 4-pitch walk. So here comes Ben Rohde. Rohde singled in the bottom of the 3rd and came around to score. He'll bat with one out. Hicken leads off a second. Palmer off a first. Lefty on righty matchup. Van Meter against Rhodey. Palm Beach Junior State College reliever will take a step off the mound, gather himself. Dig back in to face the Loudoun, New York native. First offering with one out. Heater taken low by Ben for ball one. One 0 with one out. Fastball low from Van Meter, 2-0. It'll be a 2-0 with one out. Van Meter comes set. Rocks and delivers low. 3 balls and no strike. Tough time for Van Meter to find the strike zone here. Van Meter sets. From the left side of the rubber, kicks in, delivers. Fastball down the plate, called strike one. A 6 spot in the top of the 5th for the Muckdogs. The big difference in this one so far. Pioneers will try and draw a little closer, and they do in the slightest of margins here as Rhodey walks. So a hit batsman, and then 2 walks to follow. As Hicken will advance to third, Palmer to second, Rhodey up to first. As the Muckdogs bullpen continues to get loose. It'll be back to the top of the batting order now in Dylan Fatovich. Dylan's 0 for 2 in the ball game, a fly ball to left, and a caught looking in the bottom of the 3rd. Van Meter concludes the conference on the mound with the rest of the infield who convened, as well as the catcher Fesh, who will retreat back to his spot. So one out in the bottom of the 5th for Fatovich. 3 ducks on the pond for him, as the Pioneers will try and draw a little bit closer blood. They trail by 9 runs. And they're down to their final 8 outs in the ball game. Van Meter comes set, kicks and fires from the left side of the rubber, and the fastball's in the dirt. Taken by Fatovich, 1 ball and no strikes. One 0 coming. Fastball taken low by Fatovich, 2-0. Fatovich spanks it on the line, deep into the left center field gap, cutting over and dropping the ball is Fry, coming in to score easily as Hicken, trailing right behind him. They're stopping at third base there, so the Pioneers are going to take the conservative route. They trail by 8 runs. Hicken comes in to score on a Fatovich laser beam to center field, but a dropped fly ball, if you will. I don't know if you can call it that. It was just a spanked line drive off the bat of Fatovich. He reaches on an E8. Hicken comes in to score. Palmer advances to third, Rhodey to second. And Cooper Smith, the right fielder, comes to the dish with 1 out and the Pioneers trailing by 8. Van Meter sets and delivers. Cooper takes the fastball inner third for a called strike 1. Next offering from Van Meter, clips the inside corner, called strike 2 on a stomach-high heater to Smith. Cooper in the ball game, 1 for 2, lined a single in the bottom of the third. Van Meter delivers outside fastball. Cooper doesn't bite, 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Here's next offering. Smith just gets a piece, fouls it off to stay alive. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pioneers trail 11-3 in the nightcap of this Batavia and Elmira day-night doubleheader. Van Meter sets, delivers this one, chopped to second base. Walker feeds Castrotero, and that's all they'll get. The throw back to third, diving in back safely is Rhodey. A run comes in to score. And it's now an 11-4 ball game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. So here comes TJ Grimesti with 2 outs. The play goes 4-6. It's a fielder's choice. Smith reaches. Fanovich is retired. Palmer comes in to score, and Rhodey advances to third. So Rhodey will be off of third, Smith off of first with 2 outs. Pioneers trail by 7 in the bottom of the 5th. Lefty on righty matchup, and it's TJ Grimesti. 0 for 2 in the ballgame, flies 1 foul out of play. You figured that at one point or another, potentially law of averages was going to catch up. Sooner rather than later, TJ starting off 8 for 12, now 8 for 14 on the season. Still batting over 500. 5 games in. Grimesti takes fastball off the outer edge, and the count runs even to a ball and a strike. One with 2 outs. Van Meter delivers a nasty hook slider right over the heart of the dish. Fooled Grimesti, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's 1-2. Van Meter fires with Smith taking off and a ground ball. Third base side, foul out of play. It'll go 1-2 with 2 outs. Smith takes off, the pitch low. Throw down to second base. His tag applied not in time. Smith gets in, as he was already behind the tag when it was applied. So nonetheless, despite a relatively formidable throw by Fesh to the forehand side of the second base bag, Castrotero had to pick it and quickly apply a tag, but it was too late as Smith got in. So 2 runners in scoring position as Rhodey scampers off of third base. Smith light lead off of second. 2 ducks on the pond for an RBI machine in Grimesti. 6 RBIs on the season through the opening 4+ ball games for him as he watches the fastball low, and he's worked a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. In the inning for Elmira, they've scored 2 runs, and ironically enough, still yet to register their first hit. Ball taken in the dirt, and they're still yet to register their first hit. Yet they continue to apply pressure. They're down by 7, but a gapper could close it to 4. One swing could close it to 3, and the Pioneers are certainly hoping that power void will come in the third baseman in tonight's cleanup role in John Simmons. So Palmer remains on third, Smith on second, and Grimesti off of first. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Pio's down by a touchdown. First pitch from Van Meter, and that skips away from the catcher Fesh. Coming to the plate and scoring is Rhodey. It's an 11-5 ball game. Both Smith and Grimesti advance 90 feet. So Smith will be off a third, Grimesti off a second. A 1-0 count with 2 outs. As Van Meter has had trouble finding the strike zone this evening. 1-0, he misses outside, he continues to. Bullpen continuing to get warm for Batavia. Ball game that has now lasted 2 hours. So we're in the bottom of the 5th, 16 runs combined, 11 on the side of the visitors. 2-0 with 2 outs, clipping the outside corner with a fastball. Knee-high, taken for a called strike 1 is Simmons. John stepping out of the box. Gathering himself, readjusting his batting gloves. He'll dig back in. Lefty-on-lefty matchup with Van Meter. Palm Beach Junior College southpaw fires a called strike at the knees. That's going to raise some eyebrows out of the Pioneers dugout. You can hear a couple voices be heard. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 2-2 from Meter, and that skips away from the catcher, Fesh in the dirt. Smith comes in to score another passed ball, and the Pios make it 11-6. So a 4-run inning. As Smith comes in to score, Grimesti advances up to third. It'll be a payoff pitch with 2 outs to the left-handed hitting John Simmons. Pios have closed it to a 5-run ball game. Here's the pitch in the dirt, and Simmons draws ball 4. So what do you believe if I told you 4 walks and a hit batsman in the inning? That's going to do it. For Van Meter, a really rough outing for him. He lasts 2/3 of an inning. Granted, 1 error was committed, but the runner in Grimesti, still his responsibility out there. 4 runs have come in to score, 3 his responsibility as he walks 4. Does not strike out 1. And doesn't even give up a hit. That's all she wrote for Van Meter. We'll take a short timeout and come back in a few moments on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunn Field. Bottom of the 5th inning, Pioneers have scored 4 runs without even registering a hit in the inning. It'll be the second pitcher of the bottom of the 5th to come in, as Liam O'Neill digs in from the right-hander's batter's box. It'll be the right-hander Jay Creighton out of Lackawanna College. Kicks and fires, inner half fastball. Liam takes for a called strike 1. Creighton, formerly right down the road at the Division III University of Scranton, a product of a competitive Somers High School program in Section 1 in the lower Hudson Valley. in New York State. As he gets set to rock and fire, the 0-1 to O'Neal. Fisted foul. 0-2. Once again, the final line on James Van Meter. 2/3 of an inning. No hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, and no strikeouts, including a hit batsman in the process, following Cameron Koppel, who basically held the Pioneers' bats hostage with a few exceptions. 4 hits, 2 earned runs with a walk and 5 strikeouts across 4 innings. 0-2 pitch coming to O'Neal, righty-on-righty matchup. Creighton kicks and fires, and he nails O'Neal in the back. So the bases are reloaded. How about that? Gramesti off a third. Simmons took off for second. It's a moot point. He's there regardless. And now O'Neal gets plunked. The Pios have batted around, and here's Ty Martineau. Martineau with 2 pieces of loud contact, a single into right field in the bottom of the second inning, followed by a fly out to right in the bottom of the 4th. Righty on lefty matchup. He'll bat here with 2 outs. A chance to get the Pioneers back in the ball game. 11-6 Batavia leads. What a comeback this would be if the Pioneers can etch just a bit closer. Breaking ball misses in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Martineau. Long conversation at the mound between Fesh and Creighton. Martineau, 12 plate appearances on the season. Already 5 hits, batting .417, an OPS of .833, entering tonight's ball game. He'll wait the 1-0 pitch from Creighton with 2 outs. Next offering is a fastball high and away, 2-0 to tie. Product of Creekside High School in Jacksonville, Florida, now attends Flagler College, about an hour down the road in St. Augustine. It'll be a 2-0 pitch on the way to Martineau with 2 outs, and Ty takes a call and strike. Slider at the letters, 2-1. Good off-speed being executed behind in the count. Gramesti leads off a third, Simmons off a second, O'Neal off a first. Pios trail by 5 here in the bottom of the 5th. Nightcap of this day-night doubleheader. 2-1 with 2 outs. Ty takes a fastball high and away, 3-1. The pressure's starting to mount on Batavia pitching. In the inning alone, 2 hit batsmen and 4 walks issued by 2 Muckdogs relievers across 2/3 of an inning. 3-1 with 2 outs, and Martineau ducks out of the way of an inside fastball. The tying run comes to the plate. A 5-run bottom of the 5th for Elmira. So now Carl Wagner comes to the plate. Skip Martinez comes out, and he motions to the bullpen. What in the world is this inning, or has this become? 11-7 the ball game. We'll take a brief timeout and come back in just a few moments on the Pios Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira. 11-7. The Pios have batted around in the bottom of the fifth inning without even registering a hit. What in the world has this game come to? Eric Woodley is now in the ballgame, fourth pitcher, as Jake Creighton is relieved of his duties. Didn't even record an out. It's a righty-on-righty matchup against the Washington and Jefferson University catcher for the Pios. He represents the tying run. First offering on the way is a foul ball down the right field line. Foul. 0-1 the count. The 11th hitter to come to the plate in the inning for Elmira. Oh my goodness, what a rally this could be. Should Wagner get aboard here? 0-1 with 2 outs, almost clips him inside, 1-1. Simmons leads off a third. O'Neill off a second. Martineau off a first. 1-1 count. The base is juiced in 2 outs. Next offering to Wagner is a fastball high and away, 2-1. What a comeback this would be for the Pioneers, trailed by as much as 9. Shot themselves in the foot with mental errors. Walks all evening in the top of the 5th. But a chance to wipe it all away here. 2-1, Wagner, a high pop. Shortstop Castratero calls and makes the catch to finally conclude the bottom of the 5th. In the inning, 5 runs on no hits, 1 error, 3 runners stranded on base. Let's take it to the 6th, 4-run lead for Batavia on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunn Field as we go to the top of the 6th inning with the Pioneers trailing the Batavia Muckdogs 11-7. I'm Farrell Hudson here from the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Thank you for joining us through the duration of tonight's ball game, a fireworks night from Dunn Field. Just had the kids race here. Everyone getting a little amped up as the Pios have closed it now to a 5-run ball game. New pitcher in the ball game for the Pios is Jackson Grant, who delivers his first offering of the evening, and it's a pop-up in foul territory that Carl Wagner snags for the first out of the inning. That was the second baseman Caleb Walker. Left-handed hitters retired for the first out. Here comes the shortstop Tyler Castratero. Got plunked in the top of the 5th inning and came around to score, because who didn't come around to score in the 5th? For either side, 11 runs across 1 inning of baseball. That's where we stand now, 11-7. Batavia leads. Lefty on righty matchup. The shortstop Castratero swings and fouls it off. First base side out of play, 0-1. Grant at Erskine College in Buford, Georgia. Taking the mound for the Pios here in the top of the 6th. Already the 4th pitcher in the ball game. Brendan Hayes went 2 2/3 innings of work. Gio Valerio going an inning and a third. And Larson Birch getting the Pios through the rest of the top of the 5th. Grant now into the 6th. Misses high. It's 1-1. One out. Breaking ball inside. Almost clips Castratero. 2 balls and a strike. Once again, a reminder that your Elmira Pioneers are back in action tomorrow night as they take on the Geneva Red Wings from McDonough Park in Geneva, New York. Our live coverage on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network will start with Pios pregame at 6:15. Short pitch, or first pitch, excuse me, shortly a little while after 6:30. There's a check swing and a wave from Castratero. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count with 1 out. 11 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for Batavia. 7 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors for the Pioneers. To delve more into the insanity of what that 5th inning was for either side, you look at the Muckdogs in the top of the 5th. They score 6 runs on 2 hits. Granted, the Pioneers commit 2 errors, and yet in the process, Batavia only strains a runner on base. For the Pioneers, the stat line's even more crazy. I don't even think I've seen this in my life. 5 runs, no hits, only 1 error committed by the opposition, and then the Pios strain 3 on base as Wagner pops up with the bases loaded. As Grant now misses to Castratero, 3 balls and 2 strikes with the bases empty, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Started as a relatively simple 5-2 ball game after the 4th, and has now become a juggernaut, almost footballish score, if you will, like touchdown and 2-point conversion at a field goal. A touchdown, something you might see out of a Jets-Jaguars Sunday afternoon game. Week 9, both teams 3-6. Very awkward game so far, but that's baseball in a nutshell. Beautiful sport makes no sense sometimes. Payoff pitch from Grant on the way, and it's low in the dirt for ball 4, so Castratero's aboard for the 3rd time in the ball game. So a runner on first with 1 out, and a lefty-on-lefty matchup on tap as Jackson Grant will deal to the left fielder Braden Reyna. First a snap throw, a check over on Castratero at first base. With 1 out, Grant comes set. 2 looks at first. Castratero widens his lead. Kicking and firing, a submarine left-hander in Jackson Grant. Very rare that you see a submarine lefty, where he releases the baseball right out of the Darren O'Day or Ross Ollendorf playbook, but Certainly a unique windup for Grant. Hasn't gotten much time yet with the Pioneers this season. Andy Drum still trying to find different situations to mix in all his relievers. A lot of pitchers on the staff, understandably so, across a 50-game summer baseball season. One with one out. And the breaking ball misses high and away. 2-1. Grant comes set, left side of the rubber. A peek over at Castrotero on first. Delivers the 2-1. And the sweeper misses inside. 3 balls and a strike. Three and one with one out. Grant comes set, delivers, and he misses inside for ball 4. Wagner will come out to the mound for a conversation with his lefty reliever and Grant. The Pios were down 11-2 entering the bottom of the 5th. They closed it to an 11-7 ball game. Now trying to keep Batavia's lead at only 4 runs. But Grant running himself into a little bit of trouble. Reno walks. So Castrotero's off a second. Reno off a first with 1 out. Lefty on ready matchup, and the designated hitter, James Bolton, 2 walks in the ball game. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Takes a called strike. Inner half slider 0-1. Grant comes set and delivers. Breaking ball misses high and in tight, 1-1. Next offering, runners take off. Wagner fires down to second base. The tag is applied. Not in time. Pioneers don't get him. Martineau thought that he got him at second. Field umpire says no. Interesting call there. That's going to draw some boos from the fans. So 2 balls and a strike the count with 1 out. Castrotero leads off a third. Reyna off a second on the effective double steal. Pios bring the infield in. And the 2 on a high fly ball to right field. Smith settles under it. He puts it away for the second out. Both runners tag. And easily scoring is Castrotero on a sac fly off the bat of James Bolton. And it's a 12-7 lead for Batavia. So with 2 outs and a 5-run lead for the visitors, it'll be Blake Ewing, the first baseman, to come to the dish. Lefty swinging first baseman against the southpaw sidearm slinger in Jackson Grant, who induces a swing and a miss. Slow changeup over the heart of the dish. Ewing a little early on that, 0-1. Next offering, just missing off the plate, is Grant. 1-1 the count. Grant comes set and delivers. Ewing just jams it foul into the Batavia dugout, 1-2. 1-2 pitch with 2 outs in the dirt. And a good stop by Wagner to keep it right there, 2-2. 12 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for the Muckdogs. 7 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors for the Pioneers. Grant comes set, fires 2-2, and it clips Blake Ewing. Or rather, it gets just to the backstop. Another run comes in to score. Not entirely sure what the verdict is. At the moment, it's a pass ball, and it seems, yes, it'll remain that way. Reyna comes in to score. It's now 13-7 Batavia. We have payoff pitch coming with the bases empty. Grant to Ewing with 2 outs. Called strike 3. Fastball on the inside corner, and finally the inning has concluded. 2 runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners stranded on base. We played 5.5. Batavia leads 13-7 here on the Pios Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Eric Woodley remains on in relief. Got the last out at the bottom of the 5th. He'll deal with the lefty Brooks Hicken to lead off the bottom of the 6th. As 11 batters came to the plate. Pioneers batting around 5 runs without even a hit in the bottom of the 5th. Hicken a fly ball and middle of left field. Reyna trots over and makes the catch for the first out. So Hicken, 0 for 2 in the ball game, is retired, and with the bases empty, that'll bring up Michael Palmer, the first baseman. Palmer in the ball game, 0 for 1, struck out swinging to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Walked in the bottom of the 5th, came around to score, chops one on the ground deep in the hole at third base. Espinal, the strong throw across the diamond in time to retire Palmer. 3 pitches, 2 outs here in the 6th. So here comes Ben Rohde. 4 pitchers in the ball game. Cameron Koppel got the start for Batavia. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, across 4 innings, struck out 5, 3 looking. Only allowed 1 extra base hit. Then Jay Creighton got a third of an out. This one fisted off the end of the bat, right back to the mound. As having something to say coming off the mound was Woodley. That'll conclude a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th. This play goes P1 right back to the mound. No runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We played 6 at the done. 13-7, Batavia leads here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. New pitcher in the ball game for the Pioneers. It's Sam Watts making his season debut for Elmira. Already the 5th pitcher to appear in the game for the Pioneers as they trail by 6 as we begin the top half of the 7th inning. Batavia added 2 more in the top half of the 6th inning against Jackson Grant. 2 runs on no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Pioneers pitching staff as a whole tonight failing to find the strike zone. Alone in the 6th inning, you had 2 walks. You tally it all up, and you're looking at about a 10-walk ball game combined between 5 Pioneers pitchers. Sam Watts out of UMass Dartmouth, former college teammates with Jacob Moniz. Jacob talking with me earlier, saying that he drove 6 hours from Elmira on Tuesday night, skipped the game against Auburn, picked up his buddy Watts in Massachusetts, came all the way back to Elmira. Arms, arms, arms. You need a lot of pitchers in a season. This one lined deep to right field, and it's going to be over the head of Smith and up against the wall. Turning and burning for second base, and getting there easily is Fesh. He leads off the 7th with a double. So a rude awakening in the debut pitch for Sam Watts, and it's back to the top of the Batavia batting order as Braden Horton comes to the plate. Horton 1 for 2 in the ball game, has reached base in 3 of 4 plate appearances. Watts appeared in 8 games for the Corsairs, pitching to a 0-1 overall record across 3 2/3 innings. 5 hits allowed for him. Watts delivers. Horton swinging a foul ball, 0-1. Batavia, 13 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. For the Pioneers, 7 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. 4 pitchers to appear in the ballgame for the Muckdogs, 5 for the Pioneers. Stark contrast from the timid 3-1 ballgame earlier that only lasted an hour and 48 minutes. This game already 2 hours and 35 minutes here in the top of the 7th. A roller coaster game of baseball. Pios with a 2-run victory over Auburn here on Tuesday night from Dunfield. 2-run victory earlier this afternoon. But part of concern for the Pioneers is should this get chalked up as a loss, 3 out of the 4 losses came by 5-run deficits or more. should the Pioneers not draw closer blood in the bottom of the 7th. Could be a bit of a concern for a pitching staff, especially going up against a disciplined Batavia roster. Entered this afternoon's ball game with a .323 collective team batting average, .438 on-base percentage. Pioneers, by walking the park collectively, not helping their cause. 2 more errors in the ball game for Elmira. It'll be a 2-2 from the righty Watts to the lefty Horton with nobody out. Pitch lined deep to right field down the line. Smith cuts over, and he's going to have to play it on a hop. Getting a late jump at second base and advancing to third is Fesh on a double. 2 consecutive doubles to lead off the 7th inning. Fesh and now Horton. As Fesh will be at third, and Horton off a second because of the really late jump that Fesh got off of the second base back. So 2 more hits in the inning, 10th hit of the ball game for the Muckdogs. Pioneers infield comes in. They're down by 6 runs, down to their final 3 outs of the ball game. First offering from Watts to the left-handed hitting Brian Fry, who's dominated the ball game today, come around to score twice. 4 RBIs. He's reached base in 3 of 4 plate appearances. Watts quickly solidifying himself as an integral contributor in his 2nd season with the Batavia Muckdogs. Breaking ball over the outside corner. Backdoor slider executed by Sam Watts for a called strike 1. Still nobody out, top of the 7th. Fesh, the catcher, off a third. Horton, the right fielder, off a second. Pioneers bring the infield in. Outfield's at medium depth. The 1-1 offering with nobody out. Breaking ball just off the plate. Watts and Wagner doing what they can to pull that pitch back. Wagner unable to sell the frame. 2 balls and a strike. High fly ball deep to center field. Fatovich on his horse goes back on the warning track, puts it away. Both Fesh and Horton move up 90 feet as the Keystone College catcher comes in to score. And Batavia now leads Elmira 14-7. So a run home on 2 hits in the inning. Pioneers now down behind by 7. And they're not completely out of the woods just yet. Another runner 90 feet away, and it's for the number 3 hitter in Jackson Inman. Batavia's been really solid with runners on base all evening. They've only stranded 8 runners on base, and I say only in the fact that they've scored 14 runs, so converting essentially 14 of the 22 runners you have on base. A very strong job by them so far. Pioneers haven't done too bad in that category either, but the self-inflicted wounds on defense and from the mound continue to mountain up, hence causing the Pioneers limping out to a 2-4 record on the season, should they not be able to salvage a 7-run comeback in the home half of the 7th. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Righty Watts against the lefty Inman, Salisbury University product. In the ball game, 1 for 3, 2 flyouts and a double. Reached on an E4 in the 5th. Pitch inside, almost clipped Inman. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one with 1 out, line down the left field line, foul. Up against the warning track, out of play into the Batavia bullpen, 2-2. Watts comes set. Kicks and delivers, fly ball into center field. This should get another run home. Fatovich settles under it, comes in with a full head of steam, catch is made. The throw to the plate is on line, but getting in there safely with a head first slide is Horton. A sacrifice fly off the bat of Jackson Inman. And now Batavia leads 15-7. Productivity, the name of the game all evening for the visitors, who now build their second largest lead of the ball game. It was at 9 when they had an 11-2 lead in the fifth. Now it's at 8, 15-7. Here in the visitors' half of the seventh. Another left-handed hitter to come to the plate. It's Justin Espinal. 0 for 4 in the ball game. He'll deal with the righty Watts. With 2 outs and the bases empty, Batavia up by 8. First pitch to Espinal is an outside corner fastball taken for a called strike 1. 0-1. Espinal takes inside, 1-1. Misses high and away. That was in the righty batter's box. Pulls Wagner out of his crouch. 2 balls and a strike. Here's a 2-1, a swing and a miss. Good fastball by Watts. Sped up the bat of Espinal. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count with 2 outs. Martineau shades over to the first base side of second. Infield is deep, outfield at medium depth. 2-2 with 2 outs. Missing outside with a fastball is Watts. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Watts comes set, delivers the payoff pitch, grounded just foul down the first base line out of the extended reach of Michael Palmer. So he'll do the 3-2 again. Tough ball game for the Pioneers. Started with a Brendan Hayes outing where he allowed 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 hit batsmen, 2 strikeouts. Across 2 2/3 innings. This one rolled on the ground just foul down the first base line. As to Michael Palmer with a dejected toss to Sam Watts covering the bag. It's been that kind of night for the Pioneers. Only 4 hits. Both teams not finding command of the strike zone. Definitely a game that drives both managers crazy. Pio's down by 8. Top of the 7th. Base is empty. 2 outs. Watts comes set. Right side of the rubber. Kicks and delivers the payoff pitch. Fouled off. And we'll do the full count again. Payoff pitch with 2 outs, and it's low in the dirt. Taking for ball 4 is Espinal. And a base runner with 2 outs for Batavia. Nine walks in the ball game issued by Pioneers pitching. It'll be Caleb Walker to come to the dish. Walker led off the 5th inning and the 6th inning. Walked and came around to score. He's reached base twice in the ball game, but he's 0 for 2 as he takes a slider inside. It's 1-0. Watts delivers, line drive, just past the extended reach of O'Neill into center field. So a base hit off the end of the bat from Caleb Walker. He's aboard via a hit for the first time in the ball game. Espinal advances into scoring position. He's at second. Walker's at first. With 2 outs in the top of the 7th, and that'll bring up the righty hitting shortstop Tyler Castrotero to the dish. Castrotero in the ball game 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first. Lined out to John Simmons at third to lead off the visitors' half of that inning. Walked and came around to, or rather got plunked and came around to score in the 5th. Walked and came around to score in the 6th. Righty-on-righty matchup with Watts, who kicks and fires, and he nails Castratero. So a second hit batsman of the game. What a night this has been for both sides. Not in a good way. Bases are loaded now with 2 outs. Here comes the left fielder, Braden Reyna. It'll be Espinal off a third, Walker off a second, Castratero off a first. Watts comes set from the right side of the rubber, delivers. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for a called strike 1. Oh, 1 with 2 outs. Fastball inside corner, called strike 2. Post-game fireworks presented by Centralis Health coming up here from Dunfield. 0-2. There's a pop-up behind shortstop. O'Neill's going to range back into shallow left center field. The call and the catch to retire the side in the top of the 7th. Not before 2 more runs on 3 hits. No errors. 3 runners stranded on base. Let's take it to the bottom of the 7th. 15-7 Batavia leads on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning, what has been a marathon game. 22 runs across 15 hits, 3 errors, and 5 different pitchers in the ballgame for both Batavia and Elmira, respectively. The 5th to come into the game for the Muckdogs is Garrett Beaver, the right-hand pitcher out of Salisbury University, who kicks and fires. A little less than a 3/4 arm slot, working for the left side of the rubber, delivers a ball low and away. It's Dylan Fatovich to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Pios. Top of the order, Fatovich, followed by Smith and Grimesti. Fastball inside to Fatovich. It's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 more runs in the visitors' half of the 7th inning, as 8 hitters come to the plate for Batavia. 3 hits. Here's a hit from Dylan Fatovich into left center field. That's going to drop down and take an awkward carom away from Reyna, but Fatovich nonetheless is going to put on the brakes at first base. So here comes Cooper Smith, grounded into a 4-6 fielder's choice in the 5th, came around to score. 1 for 2 in the ball game, with a caught looking at a single in the bottom of the 3rd. Righty on righty matchup. Beaver comes set. Fanovich extends his lead off of first with nobody out, and the first offering to Smith is a fastball low and away. Cooper takes 1 ball and no strikes. One 0 from Beaver. With nobody out, fastball inside at the knees of Smith, 2-0. Beaver's last full season was with Salisbury, an all C2C honorable mention. He was tied for 3rd in the conference in saves with 3, 10th in strikeouts with 36, and 10th in wins with 3. Started off his sophomore season with a bang, opened the season with 3 straight scoreless outings, culminating in 9 innings pitched, only 4 hits allowed, no walks, and 13 strikeouts. Also threw 4 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts against the nationally ranked Johns Hopkins University. Misses outside here to Smith. Cooper quickly in command. 3 balls and no strikes with nobody out. Rather a 3-1 count, excuse me. So Beaver looking to lock down the final 3 outs of the ball game. Batavia up by 8. Fanovich extends his lead off of first base, and he'll go trotting down to second base. It's a walk for Cooper Smith. So a single and a walk for the Pios to lead off of the 7th. Fanovich is on second, Smith on first, and that'll bring up TJ Grimesti, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Reached base, though, in his last plate appearance with a walk in the bottom of the 5th against James Van Meter and came in to score. Walks up to Sabrina Carpenter's espresso. I think we might all need a little espresso after this game. Almost 3 hours long. Walk after walk. And no victor decided at the moment, although the Pios do trail by 8. Grimesti takes fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. Shakes his head no. Counts 0-1. Righty on righty matchup with the tall, lanky slinger in Beaver. 0-1. Grimesti takes the soft changeup in the lefty batter's box, a ball and a strike. One with nobody out. Grimesti, a hack and a tip into the glove of Fesh, 1-2. It'll be a 1-2 pitch with nobody out. Beaver a long look at second, kicks and fires. Fanovich stays put, 2 balls and 2 strikes as Grimesti takes outside. Grimesti has a runner in scoring position in Fanovich, who leads off a second. Smith off a first. Beaver still yet to record his first out at the bottom of the 7th. Batavia bullpen is empty. Outfield at medium depth. Left center field gap is shaded open as Grimesti puts a charge into one. Deep center field. Going back on his horse. Settling under it is Fry. A couple steps in front of the warning track. He'll put it away for the first out. Fanovich tags up. He'll easily coast into third. So a semi-productive out for the Pioneers. Runners on the corners with 1 out. So here comes John Simmons with 1 out. John in the ball game, 2 walks, struck out swinging to lead off the bottom of the 4th. First offering from Beaver to Simmons, fastball low and away. John takes 1-0. Next offering, Simmons, check swing. Slider in there for a called strike at the knees. It's 1-1. Thank you for joining us here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. On this cool and overcast Friday evening from Dunfield, wind starting to blow in as the sun has fully departed and given way to a calm, cool, crisp evening. Some rain in the forecast, but that's not going to prevent the fireworks show from occurring in just a few brief moments following the conclusion of this very long 3-hour, 7-inning affair between Batavia and Elmira in the nightcap of a day-night doubleheader. Next offering, Simmons puts a charge into one. Deep center field. Fry goes back on his horse, way back to the warning track, makes an unbelievable catch against the wall. Fatovich will tag and score. A great play made by the Brockport University senior. Pios do get a run out of it, though. It's 15-8. So a run home on a hit in the inning. The bases are clear with 2 outs. Smith still off at first. And it's Liam O'Neill. First offering to O'Neill, swing and a miss. Ready on ready matchup with Beaver, 0-1. Pios are down to their final out. 8 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors in the ballgame. For Batavia, 15 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. Just off the outside corner, O'Neill takes for ball 1. One with 2 outs. That misses off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one, just off the outside corner. Muckdogs wanted the call. O'Neill advances into the driver's seat with a 3-1 count. Next offering, breaking ball just off the plate. For ball 4, O'Neill walks. So the Pioneers are set up. Smith will be on second. O'Neill on first. Ty Martineau comes to the plate. He's reached base in 2 of 3 plate appearances tonight. A walk and a single. Martineau digs in from the left side against the righty Beaver. Looking to complete a full inning of work and lock down a victory for Batavia. Beaver against Martineau. Batavia looking to close out Elmira. First pitch. Fastball low and away, just missing for ball 1. One 0 inside, that almost clipped. Martineau, 2 balls and no strikes. Beaver comes set and delivers. Breaking ball called strike 1. Pioneers with a loss will go to 2-4 on the season. They'll travel up to Geneva to take on the 0-6 Red Wings tomorrow night. It'll be the first full matchup of the season, weather pending, of course. But the second time the Pioneers will be seeing Geneva in the week, as they took them on Sunday here in a suspended game, which they lead 8-3. They'll make up on Tuesday with the Red Wings coming back to Dunfield then. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Martineau fouls off Beaver's next offering. And Batavia is a strike away. Beaver comes set left side of the rubber, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball low and away. A full count to Martineau. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 15-8, the Muckdogs lead. Bottom of the 7th inning. Coming set and delivering, Martineau fouls it off third base side out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another payoff pitch in store for Martineau. Beaver comes set. Martineau calls time. Steps out of the box. And now gets back in. Payoff pitch on the way from Beaver to Martineau. Delivers in a swing and a miss. And the ball game is over. The Batavia Muckdogs take the nightcap of this day-night doubleheader and win it 15-8 as the Pios drop to 2-4 on the season. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 2 minutes. The losing pitcher for the Pioneers is Brendan Hayes. No save in the ball game. And the winning pitcher would very likely be Eric Woodley. We'll wait for confirmation with the league on that. For now, Pios lose 15-8 to the Muckdogs. That'll do it for our live coverage of Elmira Pioneers baseball tonight. Once again, the final score, Batavia 15, Elmira 8. Pioneers hit the road to take on the Geneva Red Wings tomorrow. Our coverage begins with Pios pregame at 6:15. First pitch shortly after 6:30 from McDonough Park. I'm Farrell Hudson saying so long and good night for the